welcome to the locker room. Coach Arias here. Today's message is don't pop the bottle before you win the game. And also don't quit until the game is over. Both of those things. We can't pop the bottle before we win the game, and we can't quit until the game is over. How many times have we seen sports games, sports figures, be in the fourth quarter? For example, I was at the Steelers game when they played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a couple weeks back, and they were beating them so bad in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left or less than 2 minutes left. We just left the game. We left the game. We did everything besides pop the bottle, only to find out that when we got home, on the way home, they had lost. Somehow Tampa Bay had come back. Or on the flip side, I was at the Pittsburgh Steelers game this week, and in the second quarter they were down 13-0, and out of nowhere I believe they scored 24 points. And just the first quarter looked like they were going to lose, and they had no shot. In the second quarter, everything turned around and they looked like they were possibly in the running for a playoff or Super Bowl run. How does that happen? Well, first step into not popping the bottle before the victory comes is you got to stay humble. You got to be working on the field of life with humility. You got to stay coachable. I see people start getting momentum and start winning the game in business. They get up a few scores and they stop being coachable. They stop staying humble. That's the very avenue that people walk on to get a loss instead of something in the W column. The next step in order to not pop the bottle too soon is you got to stay aggressive. How many times have we watched teams sit on the ball and start playing passive just to not lose the game and only to let the other team back in the game? When you got momentum in life or in business, you got to stay aggressive. Keep doing the things that made you successful until the clock is up. Why do teams lose after big wins? What's the deal? How does a team go from looking like a champion one week and then they go lose to an opponent that they should blow out? Well, they lost that humility. They lost their focus. They stopped being coachable. They lost that aggression. You got to keep that end mission in mind and understand that until you win the final game, you got to stay focused and not pop that bottle. The second part of the message was we can't quit until the game is over. On the flip side, I see people that start to give up and quit in the fourth quarter because they're down in life. One score or two scores. They're down, so they quit. We can't quit until the game is over. How many teams have we seen win games in the ninth inning playing baseball or in the last period of hockey? I watched the Penguins come from behind 3-4 scores in one game in the last period. You cannot give up until the game is completely over. It starts off that sometimes we get blocked from our potential and destiny by self-doubt. When you're losing, when you're down, when the clock's running out, you can't get blocked from your potential and destiny by self-doubt. I remember going to a professional MMA fight here, UFC Fight in Pittsburgh, and I watched a guy get his brains beat in for 2-3 rounds. And in the last round, there's 1 minute left. It looked like they should have called the fight. Out of nowhere, he connects with a haymaker and knocks the other guy out of nowhere. Sometimes in life, you could just be against the ropes and nobody thinks you got a shot. It only takes one punch. It only takes one play. In order to make that one play, your mind got to be right. Because to get out of a hole, it's one play at a time. There is no 14-point touchdowns in football. There is no 10-point shots in basketball. There is no 10-run home run in baseball. It's one play at a time, and it only takes one play to create momentum. So make sure that we don't pop the bottle before we win the game. Don't quit until the game is over. Do this, guaranteed we'll be on our way to living our very best life. Thanks for joining me in the locker room today. Looking forward to seeing you all next week.
The Daily Locker Room Day-by-Day Workbook is in stock and ready for delivery. Coach Giggs is proud to announce that profits from sales of the book will go to the Susan G. Komen Foundation for the Cure of Breast Cancer. Go to dailylockerroom.com and order your book today.